always with the design and the sketch. I do the sketch according to the client's eye. It depends if she has loose eyelids or firm eyelids. You can do very saturated tail, or you can do more shaded tail. All depends on the client's eyes. I use cosmetic pencil, especially the Flash Academy products that I have, and that is the brown cosmetic pencil and the black gel pencil as well. And I smudge it with the Q-tip. And I always check my design when the client is sitting because everybody is different and we need to make sure that the design fits them well. And at the end I use the white paste to fix my design so I don't lose it during the tattooing. With this client I choose very light design. It's more imitation of the eyeshadow than a line or eyeliner. Because her eyelids were very loose, and of course she had very round eye, and the shade with any significant tail would not be very suitable for her. So in this case I started to fix my design from the top to down, from basically the lighter color to the darker color. I always start where the end, the tail should be, because I need to fix the design first. And here in this case she also had old eyeliner. It was 15 years old, so we need to cover them as well. So in this case the work will be much harder, and I will saturate the eyelash area more than I usually do, because I need to cover that all permanent makeup. Most of my time I work without any anesthetics, and that might be surprising for most of you. But the thing is, if you start with the shading first instead of doing the eyelashes, you will see that the client is not in the big pain, and it's definitely doable without any anesthetics. If you start to do the lash line first, the eye will start to swallow, because this is the most sensitive part, and if you have a swollenness in that area, then it's almost impossible to make a nice shadows on the eyelid. So for those of you who are doing the opposite way, who are doing the eyelashes first and then the shading, try to do it opposite way. Try to shade first the whole eyelid and then do the lash line. You have to realize with clients with alopecia that their skin is very sensitive. It's a little bit harder but sensitive at the same time, so you have to be very careful with your pressure and your movements, because you can damage the skin very easily. You can see even in my work those little red dots, and that basically tells you that the skin is reacting really fast, and it's very sensitive, so you have to keep the pressure as less as possible. It's very light, and of course you have to slow down your speed, slow down the speed on your machine and with your hand as well, in order not to damage the skin too much, not to cause significant trauma. Look at the stretching that I use. I use 2 fingers that are really close to each other and a third pinky from my other hand, so I have 3-point stretch. especially on the eyes, it's very important to make the stretch very firmly. Don't be afraid to be a little bit harsh on that eye area. It is not painful, but it's very important to have that stretch very firm, because without it you will not be able to do a beautiful shading. If you're interested about the movement that I use the train movement. I call it train movement. And if you don't know how this movement is done or what it is, you can check my other videos where I explain the difference between pendulum movement and this train movement. Be careful when you wipe away the pigment. The skin that is already tattooed is very sensitive, and this is the most painful part. When you tattoo the client, it's not that painful, but it's more painful when you wipe them. So it's very important to use wet cotton. The cotton must be really wet. If you do it with the dry cotton, it will be more painful, and the eye and the skin will be more irritated. So be careful with the wiping as well. The clients that they have the eyelashes, it's more difficult to wipe it. Of course, it will take you more time. But with the clients with alopecia without any lashes, of course, it's very easy to clean it. If you are interested about the pigments that I use American company's pigments named Skills, and they are highly concentrated pigments, organic pigments, and because of the higher concentration, it's very easy to work with them. Every scratch on the skin stays there, and it's very easy for me to work with them, and of course it's less trauma. And I have also one tip for you. If you work with brown colors or brown shade, of course it's not that easy as it is with black, but still it's very easy with those higher concentrated pigments than with any other brand that I already tried. You can see in this video that I also shadow a little bit of the lash line during the shadowing process, and for lots of you it's very hard to see where the lash line is, especially with the clients with alopecia, because they don't have any lashes, so you don't have any indication where the line is. But if you turn the eyes a little bit, if you flip it a little bit, you can see this white line with little bumps, and those little bumps are basically the roots of the original lashes. And within this white line, this is where it's supposed to be the lash line, so you can tattoo in this area, and not to tattoo the lash area above it. With this client, you can see that she already had old eyeliner that was done in the time when she had her own lashes, but this line was created not in the lash line but above it. So that's why I am tattooing underneath it, because I need to fill also the lash line to create the design of the original lashes. So in this area, the inner eyelid, it's very difficult area for shading, especially because the clients are closing their eyes, they are tightening the eyelids together. So you have to relax your client, make them more calm in order to access this area. And you can see I use the stretching to the corner, outer corner, out of the inner corner, so it's more accessible for my hands. In this area, if I don't need to, I don't do the shading there. I finish my shading always in a corner of iris. This is my stop area where the shading finish. But in this case, of course, I needed to go with the shading a little bit further to the inner eye, because she had all eyeliner that I needed to cover. My secret weapon is using Booster Balm, which is our original product. And this product is really special because it contains the herb called cloves. And clove we know as a natural anesthetics, so it helps reducing the pain, it helps reducing the swelling, and it calms down the skin, and overall the procedure is much better and handleable for the client. And this is really a game changer. So if you haven't tried it yet, try it and you will see it's perfect on the eyes, on the lips, and you can even use it on the eyebrows. But especially in the eye area and lip area, it is really a game changer. When you apply anesthetic to the lash line, it's very important to apply only small amount of the anesthetics. So I do it with a micro brush or with this little wood Q-tip. So it's very important not to place a lot of the product there. And this is the only time when I use anesthetics. It's before I tattoo the lash line. So I go over with the needle very quickly just to open the skin in the lash line, and then apply a small amount of the anesthetics and leave it for 2 or 3 minutes, and then I continue with my procedure. During this time when the anesthetic is working, I hold the eyelid a little bit just to make sure that the anesthetic will not go into the eye, because as you know, the alopecia clients, they don't have any lashes, so it's very easy to get into the eye with those products. So for me, I hold it for a little bit before it dries. Before I do the lash line, I always wipe away the rest of the anesthetics, and I start in the inner area of the eye, and that's because the clients are most sensitive in this area. It is the most painful one, so I want to use that power of the anesthetics and start with this area first. And you can see I do very small motions. My needle is in the skin, so I'm moving in the skin. I don't take the needle out of the skin, and I do very short movements. And I am trying to fill properly each part very carefully with lots of the color. Don't forget to wipe the lash line properly. Most of my students is doing the mistake that they don't wipe it enough, especially with normal clients that they have lashes. So they keep the color there, it's not wiped properly, and then they think that they have already tattooed the area, it's filled, but when I wipe it myself, I see that they didn't wipe it enough, and this is most of the time the reason why after the healing they don't have any color left, because they didn't tattoo it inside of the skin. They just let it sit on the skin and they didn't clean it properly. So make sure that you wipe it with wet cotton or with the Q-tip. And if you see that you don't have enough color there, you have to come back several passes to fill the color as much as you can. When I finish the lash line completely, I always go back for shading, and I am trying to finish the design, make it perfect, make it smooth, and make it faded on the top of the shading. And this is my final step, and I always trying to make sure that my design is already perfect, so I don't have so much work during the correction. If you like my videos and you think that the shaded eyeliner is something that you want to improve and you are not sure how to do it, you can always contact me. I do the classes in English. Those are individual, so you can always travel to Czech Republic to have the course with me, or you can also decide to host my masterclass in your home country. So if this is something you might be interested in, just let us know and contact me through our website.